And welcome back to Daily Wraps. Time for Yay or Nay. First up, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is considering closing the pedestrian plaza in Times Square in order to better regulate the area's activities. While the plaza is a very popular place for tourists and street performers, it's also home to a lot of topless panhandles covered in body paint, much like the control room here, quite frankly, and questionable people dressed as beloved children characters, much like in Jonathan Gilliam's apartment. Is body painting offensive, and should it be banned in places like Times Square? I'm going to go to Nomi on this one first, since she used to be a body painter back in the 80s.
I was. It was in the 80s when I was 4.
Yeah.
That's how I made my living. My parents just sent me out into Times Square.
Getting weird.
I think that this is weird. If they're going to start regulating pedestrian areas, I think that they should put little on the sidewalks. They should have lines down the sidewalk so that we can walk better on the sidewalk. The tourists can go on one side, on the right, and then the New Yorkers can go on the left.
Looking like a true New Yorker.
There's a bigger problem here. You know, the area is filled, as you said, with children's characters. And to have somebody out there who may not be appropriate for children, I can understand how that would trouble parents.
My kid runs around naked all the time. I don't think she would really know the difference.
In Times Square?
No, not Times Square.
I'll make this as quick as possible, but Times Square is the biggest terrorist target in New York City. They mix cars and large masses of people. The whole thing should be shut down to traffic, period.
It almost is.
It is.
There's still big trucks, big buses going through there. The side streets are open. Trust me, I used to run the special events program for the FBI. It's a big nightmare waiting to happen. I can guarantee you it will happen eventually.
So
there will be an attack.
does that mean you're for or against the body painted people?
Well, and that's the other thing. I was down there last week and I saw that. Listen, it's barely painted. There's like one layer of light paint on there, and then
you can't hide anything there.
and lastly, the guys that are wearing the costumes, all those people are not licensed to be wearing those.
They're not, right?
No.
Okay. Well, do you remember, of course you do, the ALS Bucket Challenge last year, the Ice Bucket Challenge? It was a huge craze last summer. Over 17 million participants, including yours truly, raised more than $220 million for ALS research by pouring buckets of ice water over their heads and challenged their friends and family to do the same. Of course, Donald Trump did it as well and took it like a champ. Well done, Donald. And the hair is real. Look at that. That proves it. All right.
He looks like Trey Gowdy right there.
Good point. Trey Gowdy. That's well done. Anyway, well, now researchers at Johns Hopkins University are saying that the Ice Bucket Challenge has actually helped them better understand a common dysfunctional protein in the brain of ALS patients. Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Will a challenge like the Ice Bucket Challenge conquer other diseases?
Well, it's certainly worth trying. If it worked for that's fantastic that it worked. And by the way, kudos to Donald Trump for doing that. That's pretty cool.
It was cool. I liked his assistance as well. That was very Trump-esque. Nomi, quickly.
Yes, absolutely. Any sort of challenge. I think this is a creative way to fundraise.
Okay,
Why not?
Jonathan.
Yes, and I'd love to. I'll take a bucket of ice in order to raise money to stop liberalism from spreading all over the United States.
Wow.
Just kidding.
You'd probably take a bullet for that. Are you kidding me? Ice? Come on. Finally, Donald Trump can draw a crowd, and he knows it. In fact, he's asking a number of television networks to start paying him for interviews.
Oh my
In
gosh.
Mr. Trump's interview with Time Magazine, he suggested that if CNN wants him to show up for the next debate, the network should have to donate to him $10 million. Is this a good idea? By the way, he would send it to charity.
He would,
Yeah, he'd send it to charity.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea because that would finish him off.
Oh,
so.
interesting.
It's illegal. Even to charity, it's illegal.
I don't know if it's illegal, but okay,
No,
Jonathan.
it is. It's illegal. You don't get paid to go on a presidential debate.
I don't know. I have an opinion on that. It's a crazy thing, but
Okay, well, speaking of Mr. Trump, finally, let's take a look at this little blast from the past.
If you like your steak, you'll absolutely love Trump Steaks. Treat yourself to the very, very best life has to offer. And as a gift...
Okay, but Trump steaks aren't the only celebrity brand. I was in shock. They actually came back to me. Food item for sale. Check out this one we found from 1994. Tots with the lefty kick. No, actually, it's beans. It is Uncle Rick's baked beans.
Don Julio.
Now with real bean flavor. Can we run that again? Because there is a picture there I want to show. Look at that. He's got Bill and Hillary in the background. Yes, Uncle Rick's baked beans.
I want a copy of
And
that,
they
guys.
have
That might
real
be your
bean
best
flavor.
ever.
Oh my God,
Best
it's
ever.
Thank you.
Best ever.
Thank you, panel. We have to go on that note, which is only appropriate. Thank you, panel. And the Steve Malzberg Show, that's next.